Hey guys, how we doing? Back with another video from Gigguk. A bit of an old one, but I'm excited for My Hero Academia coming back later in the year. Love the anime, and my god, the tournament arc in My Hero Academia was amazing! So, let's see what Gigguk has to say about My Hero Academia. How to do a tournament arc.
Tournament arcs are one of the most iconic staples when it comes to shonen anime and manga.
Yep.
And
It's always
if it wasn't
boss to
obvious
see everyone
before,
fighting each other.
I love tournament arcs. Being such a common trend, however, it may be possible for an outsider looking at the excitement we feel whenever one is announced for a series that we love and ask, what's so exciting about a tournament arc?
Well, hell yeah, I was about to say, like, Gon vs. Hisoka was amazing. Gaara Rock Lee, incredible.
It contains some of the hypest and well-loved instances to come out of anime, and as a story arc, is a very simple and effective way to set up exciting moments.
Yeah.
But while it's easy to set up, it's not always easy to pull off, and there are many things that can go wrong. Enter My Hero Academia. Being one of the hottest shonen anime to come out in recent times, My Hero Academia has taken shonen battle anime back to its roots, doing nothing revolutionary besides playing off the appeal and strengths of this genre, but refining everything to a glorious, polished tea. So
Hell
it's no
yeah.
surprise that its latest
Hell
attempt
yeah.
at the tournament arc just happens to be one of my favourite tournaments in recent times, as it does almost everything an arc like this should, and does it brilliantly. So today, let's break down exactly how to pull off one of the most beloved tropes in this medium correctly. What makes a good tournament arc?
Alright.
I won't let you down. Before we get into how to do it correctly, we first need to break down why the concept of a tournament arc works so well in the first place. And this is the first thing to clear up.
Oh, it's just so cool seeing everyone.
Is a competition. Competition follows sport. The Super Bowl is a tournament arc.
Yeah.
The World Cup is a
Tournament
tournament
arc.
arc. Hell, the fucking Olympics is hundreds of simultaneous tournament arcs.
Yeah, it is.
People watching sporting events after hundreds of years suddenly go, yeah, I'm actually bored of the setup of these competitions. Of course not. At a core level, competition and tournaments are exciting for a spectator, because you can weave in countless amounts of narratives into this structure in a very short time span. Heroes, villains, teamwork, friendships, rivalries, lineage, and of course the all-important underdog stories. Something that was basically built for the shonen battle genre.
Hell
which is
yes.
also why every sports anime is essentially just one massive
Tournament arc, yeah.
Keep in mind that at its core, the highs and hypes of any tournament is something that many people experience, and pretty much anything can be turned into a competition if you're invested in the
Food
activity.
wars, of course
so
it can.
even if you don't give a fuck about sports, build up your investment in an activity and you can give a fuck about competition. So for the purpose of this video, when I say tournament, I mean a series of structured one-on-one matches. These
Hell
could be
yeah.
a fighting match, cooking match, team sports match, even a match about drawing manga. But I will be
Bakuman.
excluding any free-for-alls and death tournaments, as I feel those are something entirely different.
Future
With this in
time.
mind, let's take a look at how the structure of a tournament can play to shonen anime's best strengths if done correctly.
Yeah.
Pre-tournament competition is the contest that happens just before the actual main tournament.
And then you set up
Think of
every-
the
who's
first
gonna be against
Chunin
who.
exams
Yeah.
or the earlier Hunter exams.
Oh,
and
mate.
in Academia's case, it's the first two games of the sports festival. While not exactly part of the tournament and not present in every tournament arc, I believe it can be a very useful tool for setting up the pieces needed to make the main event shine.
Yeah.
The advantage of having a
Build up
pre-tournament
little
competition
rivalries.
is that it can help you to set up the stakes for the main event, introduce a bunch of new characters,
Yeah.
ground the power levels of each character, and build up hype and anticipation.
Hell yes.
Now, all this can also be achieved in one big long tournament, as Yu Yu Hakusho did with this Dark Tournament arc. But what I like about having this Pride contest is that you can get rid of a lot of the fluff needed to set up a good climax, allowing you to shorten the actual tournament so you're less likely to wear out the format of one-on-one battles with matches that people really don't care about. My Hero Academia actually has one of the shortest tournaments in shonen battle anime.
Right.
But that doesn't matter because the main event itself
works.
is so densely packed with interesting and fun fights that it's constantly entertaining and never once gets boring. And that's because it manages to hit each of these 4 points before the tournament even begins. Think about how all the personal stakes are set up before the main tournament.
Hell yeah.
You have the triangular rivalry between Deku, Todoroki, and Bakugo established right at the start, and Todoroki in particular, who we never saw much of previously, becomes one of the main focus of this
He
entire
does.
arc.
We
are
learn a
shown
lot
the
about
backstory
him
of why
during
he's
this
so driven
tournament,
to beat Deku without the use of his father's powers, Lita's rejection of Deku's friendship to see him as a rival, Ruroka's determination to do well so she can support her family. And this puts the pieces
We
up
learn
for
a
all
lot about
these
everyone in this
individual
tournament,
narratives to clash within the main tournament. It's yours!
Your quirk, not his!
This is the stage that's
emotional,
also
man.
great for introducing a bunch of new characters. See, when you start this kind of arc, it's more likely than not that your pre-established cast is not diverse enough to make for an interesting tournament completely by themselves. So new characters need to be introduced to either compete for first place or throw in a few curveballs here and there. A competition like this is a great way for the audience to familiarize themselves with a group of new characters and allow them to make an impression before the main tournament rolls in.
Yeah.
Get rid of the need for adding in useless fodder into the main event and instead allow these characters to shine in different ways. Without having to play everyone's least favorite pointless game, guess the important characters from their character designs. It's the undercard fights in the boxing match, the supporting acts in the gig. You
Hell
never play
yeah.
all your cards here and you're building up anticipation, but that doesn't mean there
Rocky
can't be
roll.
great moments before the main tournament. You keep it interesting by allowing a glimpse into people's abilities without them directly competing against each other in battle, but in the activity itself. Whether they are directly or indirectly fighting in this activity, it builds up anticipation for the time that they are actually allowed to battle one another in a match. What this does is allow different characters to have mini victories and defeats here and there, giving us, the audience, room to speculate.
Yeah,
Who's
like,
more
who's
powerful
gonna
than who
win?
against? Who
How
are
they
the
gonna win?
favourites? Who are the underdogs?
Yeah.
Dark forces? It establishes a rough tier list in our minds before the tournament starts, and this is the
Did
exact
he say
setup
tier
we
list?
have with any real
When was this
sports
out?
event to
He is
allow for
ahead of the
exciting
game.
showdowns to come. Which, speaking of which,
I'm not done yet!
Rah!
at the end of the day, a tournament is just a format, but as a format, it allows you to do many things in a short period of time, have lots of consecutive battles at once, get the opportunity to see a lot of interesting matchups, and weaving in many individual narratives into one place. But where most tournament arcs fail to stand out is by only trying to acknowledge the first point, having many consecutive battles in a short time and thinking that that will be enough to keep the audience engaged. Action without meaning gets boring fast, and much like fight scenes, tournaments are about the psychology, telling a story through the combats, the individual ideals, reasons for fighting, and general mindsets are all good things writers will flesh out and make instantly recognizable once the tournament gets rolling. The worst tournament arcs will pit characters against each other in hopes that the action will distract from the mediocre writing, and even some of the best are littered with constant interruptions or pussy out of having a proper winner. Like every tournament arc is destined to suddenly get a huge bout of anxiety in trying to keep the audience's attention and prematurely just ejaculates the next story arc. So I'm glad to say that ironically one thing that makes Academia's take stand out is that it's a tournament
They actually
arc with
finish
more
it.
interruptions and an actual winner in the end.
Yes, class.
Hold on, I don't think you quite heard me correctly, so let me just
Okay.
try saying that
Right,
again.
right.
It's a tournament arc with minimal interruptions and an actual winner in the end. See, what I can respect
Yeah, that doesn't
is that
happen very
the
often,
series
does
was
it?
confident enough to engage the audience right the way through to the end with the core elements present in its own tournament. Sure, it was shorter than many other arcs of its kind, but that's what never made it boring. Instead of having one or several episodes per match, we could get through multiple matches in a single episode. which
Yeah,
allowed
and
even
it
the
doesn't
matches
feel,
no one
like,
really cared
dragged
about to be
out.
entertaining without overstaying their welcome. It's these kinds of matches where you really have a chance to play around with your matchups, because this setup is the perfect excuse to have characters face off against each other that you wouldn't normally see.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think a series like Death Battle is so popular? Why are versus debates the bread and butter of any
Yep.
internet
Yep.
discussion?
Yep.
And why is Mayweather versus McGregor actually happening against all odds? People like speculating over hypothetical fights because, hell, it's fun.
It's fun, yeah.
And you can settle them in your own tournament arc, importantly, without the need of setting up a real conflict between characters or properly villainizing anyone. In the 2 anime fights video I've done, I've broken down many different ways to make a fight engaging, and this
Yeah.
is the opportunity to bring something unique with every fight. A clash of styles,
I
a
should
clash
check them
of
out sometime.
personality, a clash of ideals. Even without giving everyone a unique power, there are many ways to make an interesting battle, though Academia shines
Battle.
through its diversity and ingenuity of everyone's different quirks. What's important here though is that there's more freedom with match outcomes if the stakes aren't high, and you can always throw in a few curveballs and upsets here and there because it's not the outcome of the match that's important, it's how the match plays out.
Mhm.
This leads me to the real reason Academia does this arc so well, which is that the series uses the tournament arc format to build on its core themes, rather than distract from them. The series has always been about the simplistic view of heroes and villains, with each character on their own unique journey to become the hero they want to be. It's their hero's journey at stake here and nothing else, which is why I find it amazing that the stakes can feel so intense when at the end of the day, this is nothing more than your typical
Oh,
high school
yeah.
sports stage.
It is. It's like, no one's gonna
The world is
die,
on the line,
no one's gonna-
winners
well,
don't find one piece, losers don't get relegated to the Shadow Realm.
No, it's
Everything is
just
entirely personal.
two
and
people
forget
fight
the everyone's individual narratives, their drives, their desires, their ambitions all clash in one place.
Yeah.
And that's all that's really needed. As
It's incredible.
If you follow real sports, no matter who wins
Really
or
progresses
loses in the
everyone's
end,
story
there is
through the
always
tournament.
a story there. Every character has their time in the spotlight, so it's your perfect opportunity for all their personal stakes that have been set up prior to properly come to fruition. And Academia manages to do this brilliantly with its diverse and well-balanced cast. Shinso, who went through the competition with an air of mystery and malice, ended up being a sympathetic reflection of the
Yeah, you're like,
Deku had
is he a
to face
bad guy?
without
No.
work. And Uraraka's very valiant attempts not only cemented her as a relatable kid trying her absolute best to make life easier for her parents, but as a character that has actual potential for strength, only just being unable to overcome the wall that is Bakugo's insane drive to prove that he's number one. But the highlight battle was without a doubt, of course, Deku versus Todoroki, which
My
encapsulates
God, what a
everything
fight.
My Hero Academia is about. We're going to this fight knowing Todoroki's troubled past with his father, why he's so determined to beat Deku while completely rejecting his father's power,
quirk,
and
yeah.
why that's so important knowing that Deku has a relation with All Might. Deku, on the other hand, essentially uses the entire fight to convince his opponent to stop limiting himself and just
but-
accept himself for his own
Look,
being
it's
without
your
living in the
quirk.
shadow of the father
Yeah.
he so despises. Without context, that seems like a stupid thing to do. Why would you try to goad your opponent to reaching their full potential when you are more likely to lose? Which he does. But while Deku doesn't win technically, he succeeds in saving Todoroki
Yeah.
from his own personal conflict, possibly setting
boss.
him on the right path. And this is exactly in line with Deku's own hero's journey
Yeah.
and everything that he stands
He is a hero.
He wants to be a superhero,
Yeah.
a beacon of justice. And a hero isn't just a hero because they graduate from hero school or get picked up by hero organizations, but it's their actions that define
Yeah,
the hero they
they
want
help
to
people.
be. From the beginning, the fight was never about who won or lost, but every punch thrown, every bone broken,
Ugh.
every clash felt incredibly heavy, as what we are really seeing is the crash of two people's life voyage and their own values of being a hero. This goes for almost every major fight in the tournament, which goes back to what I said before. The series uses the tournament arc to build on its own themes, not distract from them. And that is what makes this fight feel so goddamn epic.
It's
It's
amazing.
the reason why people will remember this fight for years to come. Why Rock Lee versus Gaara
Gaara.
stunned
Oh
us
my
as
God,
kids.
yes.
Why Gon versus Hisoka became a modern
so
classic, and why
good.
Yusuke versus Toguro set precedents for all tournament arcs to come. It wasn't the tournament itself, but it was what the fights represented.
I'm going to win this! I'll surpass you!
You look at any real sporting event and you see people crying, emotional, tears of despair and joy, when objectively you could say, cheer up, it's just a game, it's just a medal, it's just a piece of metal. But it isn't.
No,
It's
much more.
years of your life practicing. It's your ambitions, your hopes and dreams. Though you may try again next year or in 4 years, right then and there you are caught in the moment and it feels like the world to you.
Yeah.
And it's this feeling, this wave of emotion that My Hero Academia captures so brilliantly in its own fictional sporting event.
Yep.
Because once again, this series continues to play to all of Shonen's most beloved tropes absolutely right. At the end of the day, a tournament arc is just a format, a very effective format of bringing out some of the best and most exciting moments achievable in the shonen genre within such a compact time frame. But like everything else, it requires the same amount of thought and preparation to make it truly shine as with any other kind of narrative arc. Done wrong and it's just another generic excuse for bland action,
People
but
fight.
done right
Fight,
and
fight,
it's
fight,
an
fight, fight.
explosion of every possible reason you could have to be a shonen anime fan.
Yep.
Endless action, heroes, villains, rivalries, epic showdowns, hype that will blast you off
Emotion.
the edge of your seat, excitement that brings you back to your childlike innocence, enough adrenaline pumping through your veins to get you through a marathon, and
Hell
moments that will
yeah.
drop your jaw right down to the floor. Why do I love tournament arcs? Why don't I love tournament arcs?
Love it. Yeah, it's such a fight, man. Tournament archive. Whoop.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that video.
I did.
Now, before you say anything about me using the dub, you can leave your opinions right there in the comments.
Dub's not bad.
The shits I don't give. Because I thought the dub for My Hero Academia was actually genuinely good.
Yeah,
and if you
it's
want to
alright.
experience it legally, I'll leave a link in the description for a 14-day free trial to Funimation Go. For those of you interested,
I thought it was decent. Like, I did watch season 1 dubbed, but then I carried on with the sub. Either or, I don't really mind at all. Think it's great. But yeah, if you've not seen My Hero Academia, you really need to get into it. I really can't recommend it enough. And we're back at the end of the year. Ah, it's gonna be so good. Can't wait.
Back in America next month for Crunchyroll Expo, since I am guesting there. But anyway, that's it from me. I've been Giguk, and I'll see you all next time.
Cool. That was a good little video, wasn't it? Oh, cool. So yeah, My Hero Academia, the tournament arc is sick. It's awesome. If you've not seen it, check it out. Get on it. Thank you guys very much for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know Let me know what I should watch and discuss in future videos. And I'll see you guys. Here's all you guys. Nizam. Bye. Perfect outro, yes.